And I think the stream is live. Let's see. Yep, stream is live. So excellent. We have our Yuletide tree
Our lovely Yule tree.
with charcoal
As it should be.
or lumps of coal underneath. Elle is right in the world.
I was actually gonna tease you about the fact that like I was kind of like, oh, maybe James will be streaming, and then I went to bed and I woke up the next morning and I'm like, ah, there was streaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played a little bit of GRB and then I started up the stream. It is definitely the time right before Christmas is a wild mix of trying to do as much as you can and basically time where no one has any there's not anything anyone needs, and then you're sitting there and be like, okay, what am I doing this time? I hate making plans for this time of year just because. Oh hey, excellent.
I mean, I definitively avoid making plans, for the sheer fact that like I worked today.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's enough of that. Like, I'm gonna be in pajamas for the next 2 days because I work Boxing Day as well. So no thanks.
Yep. Okay. I do not need to take the copper that I'm holding with me.
Oh sure. I will close the chest so you may use it.
All right. I only had one piece of copper, but still.
That's fine. I'm just sitting here making bronze.
But we have 1,407 gold.
Ooh, nice.
So I realized because I've been playing a little bit in my world as well, and I'm holding on the money from my world. So I'm gonna go buy a belt.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking of hopping into one of mine and see, but not Shep's, two different things.
Yep.
Might have drained it because of bad decision making in terms of exploring. That's how we're gonna phrase that. I make all the best decisions and I die a lot.
Hey, Ghost Bear, how you doing?
Sad you can't see the like death. Oh, hey, there's a ghost bear.
No.
Hey, ghost bear, how you doing?
Oh, hi, Ghost Bear.
Oh. Dang it. Can't use the Exir power right now.
Ghost Bear stuck in. Snowstorms do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of people stuck. No, we have one friend that is basically stuck in Revelstoke because they were going out to Alberta and, well, the roads are not cooperating.
My family was definitely planning on heading out to Merritt.
Yeah.
They decided to stay home, which is good because there was a crash out there.
Yeah, well, there was an accident on the Coquihalla with a bus.
Yeah.
Don't know how many fatalities, but there are fatalities, so.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Should I have any? What is workbench?
Yeah, that is the downside. Basically not traveling means you're away from family. And Christmas, for most people, is about family, so that is unfortunate.
My inventory's
My inventory's full too. We were fighting a troll, and it happened to be a 1-star troll. It has made life slightly difficult.
Trolls are just rude.
Trolls just always got to be trolling. So I watched a YouTube video that I didn't realize I needed in my life. But basically, somebody made a for CS:GO, cheating is a pretty common thing. People will download like cheats to play. so like they can have like perfect aim or whatever. And somebody made a cheat mod, except for it like it advertises as being a mod that'll cheat for
Inventory's full
you and
too.
give
We
you
gotta
like
share inventory.
aimbot,
Made a space
see-through walls, all that stuff.
so I can do it real quick.
But what it does instead is basically screws up your controls and does things and just like I'm like, yes. I didn't
So
realize I
Gremlin
needed this in
mod.
my life, but I needed this in my life.
I fully support Gremlin mods.
Yeah.
You'll get more wood.
And you just feel so good about it because the only people getting screwed over are cheaters in a multiplayer game. Like someone who wants to cheat in a single player game, that's BS. Or sorry, that's like leave them be.
I was about to say,
Single player game, whatever you do is fine. But if someone's
we
cheating
have
in a
definitely
multiplayer
not been
game,
above cheating.
well, that's what I'm like. Cheating is fine as long as everybody there is on the same page as that. In a multiplayer game, that's never the case. That breaks the entire point of the multiplayer game. Definitely getting a bit of feedback from your speakers, Juan. I love how it's like always seems like we have way more raspberries than we need, but blueberries we never really end up with too many blueberries.
I've definitely been hoarding my blueberries because I make jam. But yeah, like raspberries just exist, and you're like, oh yeah, more raspberries.
Yeah. Someone's probably already been here. Well, at this point, it's probably not worth using the X here bonus on my way to the trader, but I'll probably use it on the way back.
So got into work early this morning, and my coworkers, I don't quite know what's going on, but my coworker phoned in sick. There's apparently been stuff going on, like her furnace broke or something, so I don't know if she's dealing with that or what's going on. I care in the terms of my coworker. I don't care in terms of, like, you
Work,
do you, girl.
yeah.
You know,
Work will survive.
that. Although it was definitely, there was a comment made at one point. They're like, well, if her furnace broke, I don't see what sitting at home is going to help. And I'm like, like, there's a stress to that too, right? So whatever.
Well, and also, they're probably busy calling around and trying to get it fixed.
Yeah. So anyways, regardless, like, again, I don't care so much. Like, I hope they're safe, and that's about it.
Yep.
But because I'm opening now down a person, there is usually tasks split between two people that we can't split between two people because there's one person and a manager who has manager task, essentially.
Yeah.
So I chose to worry about the beverage side of my job because, weirdly enough,
That's
kind of
basically
important.
your job?
Yeah.
Kind of
So
the
I didn't
core
worry
part of
about
the job?
food side of my job because I figured I'd get there, and I knew someone was in when we open, so we get there half an hour early, right? And then
Yeah.
we don't usually have a person come in right as we open, but because it's a holiday and blah blah blah. So the person who came in right at open, they were like, "Well, why didn't you call me?" The manager's like, "I'm not allowed to make that decision," which is entirely true. And this person was like, "Well, you should have called me. You should have called me." And I'm like, "Girl, like, I didn't know until 5:30. We're not calling you."
Yeah.
They were in at 6. It doesn't really matter. And then they were like, "Well, what has it?" And I'm like, "I haven't even touched the food. It wasn't important." And they were like, "Oh, food is important." And I'm like, "Yeah, but when your whole business is selling coffee with food as an additive, I don't
Yeah.
care about the food. I want to make sure I have coffee."
Yeah, the food's really not the important part in a coffee shop.
And generally, first coming through, yeah, you get people who order food, breakfast and stuff, but like, it was calm enough. You can tell I'm still in work mode because I'm afraid to use the word slow.
Yeah.
Like it ended up not being a problem, but just this person could not let it go, and I was like, it's not that big of a deal. Thank you for that, Ghost Bear. That is the only appropriate response to raspberries.
Oh, let's see. I think I'm probably strong enough to survive this cave solo.
Yep.
Probably.
That's probably right.
You know, Skeleton, if you just kept running away, I would have let you. We didn't have to fight. There could have been peace.
There could have been peace. So there is a cart abandoned on a bridge here, and a grayling was very annoyed by it. The grayling's no longer a problem.
Yeah, they do that. The whole thing is the graylings don't spawn unless people are nearby, so the cart will stay there unless somebody
That's fair.
comes up and lets the grayling just beat on it until it's destroyed. But even if they do beat on it until it's destroyed, the materials will be there and you just rebuild the cart.
I was also getting mild flack today because none of my greetings were seasonal, is how I'm going to phrase that.
Really?
Yeah. My coworker's like, you need seasonal. And I'm like, do you know how much work that is? Like, I don't have energy to start with the last month. I'm not putting energy in my time off to making seasonal greetings.
Well,
One of my coworkers suggested, and I will never use this. Hi, welcome to my workplace, where we put the ho 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 and hot chocolate. And I was like, no.
Yeah, that sounds...
Right? It sounds sketchy.
Yeah, I don't really need a ho 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 in my hot chocolate.
No. Nope, I don't need a ho ho hot chocolate, thank you. I was kind of like, no offense to any of them, but this is why I'm the greeting person and y'all aren't.
Okay, I'm giving in. Building a torch.
Oh no, did the dark defeat you?
Well, it's just dark enough that I'm like, I could be walking past stuff and not be seeing it.
Like, I don't remember there being a bridge here.
I mean, there wasn't when you logged out last.
James built a bridge?
Yep. I don't build roads, but sometimes I'll build bridges.
That's fair.
Ooh, let's... That torch can go away again.
Do have to admit, I kind of enjoy the game. Like, I've just walked up on 2 deer that are hanging out by the river, and, like, art-wise, very, very pretty. I don't really love the Honda window shield wiper sound, so I'm gonna run away from them.
We just kill them, then they stop making the noise.
It works on a lot of things.
Hashtag, this is very bad life advice, but very good game advice. Use responsibly.
Or don't, I'm not the boss of you.
We're not your dad.
Can confirm.
Well,
No,
my
not
dad can
anyone's
go fuck
dad.
himself too, but
What's that?
I said, well, my dad can go fuck himself too, but
No, see, this is the thing of, we're not anyone's dad. Because dads are supposed to be responsible and actually be able to tell people what to do. The fact that it doesn't apply for all cases, ours included, is aside from the point. We're not the police. We're definitely not your dad. I also only made it to work one day this week, but that was coincidentally also the worst day.
Yeah, I love the fact that you went on literally the coldest point of the year.
Yep. For the last 356 days, there has not been a colder day.
yeah, my work was an interesting week too. You
Which
know, when
luckily
it's
for
that,
me, mine all went nice and smooth and easy. Mine was
when
very...
the weather is that adverse, maybe you should just not go to work.
That was kind of how I felt about the whole thing, but then everything went really smoothly, and I was actually pretty thrilled about the whole deal.
I'll be honest, that was my hope the whole week, is that my car wouldn't start and I could just not go to work.
Well, my truck didn't start.
Well,
That
that's...
sucked. In the middle of nowhere, minus 25.
Ugh.
You wake up in the morning, or I'll wake up like at 4 in the morning with no bunk heat working. It's like, it's cold in here. I'm going to start up the truck. Why did the bunk heat stop working? Oh, the truck's not going to start up either. Oh, we're going to be in minus 25 here. And it took 4 hours because I called dispatch from the chip division, and whoever that was dumb as rocks because we were south of Barrier, BC, and they dispatched a tow truck from Vernon.
Oh no.
That's a choice.
Yeah, I'm like, I told you guys where we are. You have a map of where we are. We're shivering cold here. Could use a tow truck closer up. Bosses, so. Yeah.
Oh boy, I am in trouble.
Chip dispatcher,
There's
I'm
a
sure,
troll
didn't have
following
a
me and I'm
pleasant day.
swimming.
Oh no.
That tends to go very poorly.
I think you're dead.
No.
Probably.
I'm not close enough to help in time.
Yeah, I am down to 5 hit points. I am not making it out of this.
Run, James, run.
Nope, I'm
No,
dead.
swim. Swim, Jim, swim.
Well, holding, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I need my stamina back to swim. Because I swam to an island, and then I needed my stamina to get back off that island, but I was being followed by a troll. So that was a problem. Apparently, I have unset from my bed.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
I mean, whatever, the bed's close by, that's not a problem, but I'm just like, this is interesting.
Oh, I was like, why is there this large unexplored space on my map? And I realized why. It's a mountain.
You should go
It's
explore
getting
it, it's
close
fine.
towards nightfall. Oh yeah, no, I'm making all the bad choices. You know this.
I mean,
If I
it's not
hear
like we know
howling-
for sure that there's wolves on that mountain. You should
Oh,
find out for
there's
sure.
wolves on that mountain. Oh no, oh no, oh no. There are wolves on that mountain.
I don't know, I'm not convinced. I think I need a full
I ran
report.
up and it was looking up the mountain, and I was like, no GTFO, so I don't think it saw me. Mostly because I would be dead by now. I know how fast those things move. That's funny. Hi, Michael.
Freightliner and Kelowna not fun to deal with? One of those places.
It actually started warming up here today.
It did.
It's not like warm, but
It's minus 6 here at our place. That's a heck of a
good.
lot warmer. A heck of a lot warmer.
yeah, it says -5 here. I kind of believe that.
So how's it going,
All right.
Michael? And Ghost Bear, thanks for all the unexpected gifts. There's a lot of trees down here. I don't know who would have done that.
A lot of trees down?
Yeah. Is there a troll in the area?
I mean, that sounds like a troll.
I don't think so, because I've been mining that copper there for a while and I never encountered any trolls.
Hmm. Oh. Hi.
Thanks to Juan, Michael did not get any gifts. I feel like I'm missing something there.
Yeah, me too. Why did Michael not get any gifts?
I think this comes down to Michael getting unfair and poor treatment from Juan.
I was thanking Ghost Bear for gifts.
Because
Did
I've
you
seen the way
expect Ghost Bear to give you gifts?
I've seen.
No,
You don't even know who Ghost Bear is.
No, see, this is all about you disagreeing with Michael on
Oh,
the metric system. That's what I think this is about.
Oh, I would have assumed if it had been thanks to James, it was Milo stopped Santa from getting to Michael.
I mean, Milo is known for her harsh and unjust punishments. So
I have 100%
My,
believe Milo would contact Santa.
Milo getting Santa involved so that Michael doesn't get any presents sounds plausible. Apparently, Juan said that Santa was not coming to Michael's house.
oh yeah, Santa was not, or Michael was naughty, so. Right.
So you're just upset because Texans are smarter because they have to do way more work to do basic math.
Yes. Apparently, Texans are smarter. That made me laugh hard.
I mean, which is a pretty
I
good.
mean- If you follow the logic of everything's bigger in Texas, so are their brains. Yeah, see? Which then I kind of want to make the joke that everything's colder in Canada and that includes the women. I feel like I only barely get away with that.
Don't think I'm allowed to comment.
You're
Nope,
you're not married to a Canadian woman,
that's
so
true.
you're fine. I, however, am, and I can say I don't think that's true.
Nope, I
My
believe it's an
wife,
absolute lie.
my wife is significantly warmer than average.
You saying she's a hothead?
I mean, I'm saying certain
Well,
elements
I
of
was
her
gonna just
are.
take it as the crafting spirit ran warm.
I mean, except she doesn't. She runs cold now.
That's
She's
true,
always
but I don't
cold.
trust her her internal thermostat. I do not believe in it.
I mean, that is probably for the best. Her internal thermostat is massively broken.
Yep.
But yeah, no, she can be uh, warm-blooded from time to time.
Yeah, Milo will do anything to stop James from getting Skittles. Speaking of, I was actually at Walmart, and I'm gonna say this because Milo's not here, and the minute I start talking about it, Milo's gonna show up.
No, she's with family.
Okay, perfect. And they had those like I don't know how to describe them, but like when it was a kid, it was like a storybook, a cardboard storybook, and it had like lifesavers in it. Does this sound familiar?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, that
I-
thing. But they had a Skittles one, and I nearly bought it for you, James.
That's funny.
I looked at it and thought Milo will hate this. I should buy it.
I would have to absolutely take a picture of it and post it on the stream.
Right?
Yeah, so those little lifesaver books that you used to get, they still exist. You can still get them. But they used to be entirely filled with lifesavers.
Oh yeah, there used to be like
That's
5 or something.
Not how it works anymore.
Oh, I hate that. That was partly why I didn't buy the
Hmm.
Skittles. If I'm getting you Skittles for Christmas, I'm getting you like the honkin' bag, and I'm putting a ribbon on it, and that's all it gets. I'm not wrapping that.
Yeah,
That is the gift. That's
I mean,
it.
that sounds fair.
No. I have deceased.
You have deceased.
Ceasing happened.
Alright, I'd like a little bit more
I
stamina before I
100%
start
believe
swimming.
that Milo has that kind of control.
Ah, are you kidding me?
Another troll?
Hmm.
Same troll. He was camped over my body, so
Oh no, I hate it.
I had to get him to
Do you
move.
require aid? Do you want me to come that
I
way?
mean, he's off my body now. It was just like, well, I would love to stay here and get more stamina, but can't afford to wait. So I just hopped in the water and started swimming. That was still not early enough, and I got just one, like, thwomped by the troll.
Jeez. Yeah, I 100% believe that Milo would reach out to Santa and be like, these two are on the naughty list.
So luckily, I don't have to worry about getting any Christmas gifts, because if I've been naughty and don't get any Christmas gifts, I'm still owed birthday presents.
That's how the math say.
Mm-hmm. Because you know I'm only getting one present anyway. So if
Right?
you don't give me the Christmas gift that you're saying is a Christmas slash birthday gift, it becomes very apparent how much less it is than everyone else is getting if you give me only one of them. So I've got you all cornered. You can't cheat me.
Yeah, we see how it works, Christmas baby.
I might get cheated out of presents, but Santa can't hold me accountable.
Take Santa to court, so this is unfair.
All right, troll. It's on. I'm just a little salty because that's another 11 minutes before I can use Ecthier again.
Is someone hanging out with you that they can yeet you the power?
I mean, I'll be passing by Juan if Juan wants to Ecthier when I pass by.
17 minutes till I can use mine.
Yeah, okay. So, no.
In that direction if you want. I'm not doing anything.
I mean, whatever. It's not going to be that big of a deal. I'm rested for 17 minutes. Yeah, see, I like snow. Texas might not like snow, and if I lived in Texas, I might also be cranky about snow, but I like snow. I just don't want it all over my roads.
I was about to say, I like snow. I don't like the expectation of having to clean the sidewalk on the street that nobody walks on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that being said, I shoveled yesterday, so 3 days after our last snowfall. And then it immediately started snowing again, and I was like, well, you know what? See you in 3 days.
Today's been a bit of an abnormality for shoveling snow here. The wind keeps tossing it around. That's the thing I remember dealing with Manitoba. Not out here.
Yep, it's the Manitoba type of snow.
I'm like, this is annoying. I forgot about this sort of BS.
Well, that's kind of what ended up happening was I was like, okay, I'll shovel. Like, I guess I should do it. I have a day off. And yeah, and then it immediately started snowing. I didn't get the walk out towards my car, but I did the public street. And I was like, oh, the heck with this.
Your birthday's in 1 month? 1 month exactly or approximately 1 month? I see things have been going well over here.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're just standing there taking things out of your uh, grave. So
Yeah, it's always a good sign.
I was like, I think not quite in 1 month, but almost. We'll actually be in the States, but nowhere near you, unfortunately, Michael.
yeah, it takes a bit of a drive before we're anywhere near Michael. Only around 40 hours or so.
I have to admit, I'm looking forward to it.
I am, and also I'm not.
Fair.
There's always a lot of planning and fiddling and getting.
Shenanigans? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at least some of it's taken care of, which is nice, like
Yep.
hotel rooms done. I greatly appreciate people who do that.
Yep. The people who take care of the fiddly stuff so I don't have to, I super appreciate it. I super also appreciate it when they're not doing it last minute. A la Crafting Spirit.
It's a lot cheaper if you don't do last minute.
Yep. Either that or it's a lot cheaper if you do it last minute. Hotel rooms can be very cheap if you literally just show up the day you need it. Late in the day.
It can also be the hotel room is booked full, and all of a
Yes.
sudden the price is enormously high.
Yep.
There's only one hotel room that still has space. That's the one over here down the street. Oh, and it's going to be $200, $400.
Yeah.
What?
It's not going to be 3 times the price you would have normally paid. Yeah.
Oh, $600 you wanted for this?
That
Home?
sort of last minute planning works really well if you're in a damn it. If you're in a position where you can just walk away.
Yeah.
I was fighting some Grey Dwarves with a bow and did not really pay attention to my health.
Oh no. I
Did
was
Grey Dwarves get you?
but
Yeah.
we may have lost Shaps, so I may have to do a recovery again.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
Oh no, Sheps exists. Hey, go me.
So once again, you say January is the coldest month of the year, but I don't think that's actually true. January is the coldest month of the year out here. January is not just universally the coldest month of the year, though.
I don't know if
In
January
Australia,
is.
it's the warmest. I mean, our records lows
February.
have almost always been in January.
Yeah, but February is pretty dang cold too.
Yep.
Oh, I love Robbie Burns Night.
Hey, where I am standing right now, there's a fire. You can cook some food there. Not a lot of food, and there's a workbench. Comfort level 4.
Oh, nice. Those are usually just comfort level 3.
Well, I put a bed in.
Yes.
I'm like, just put a random bed in the ground. They're cheap and easy, and that ups your comfort to 1 level.
Yep, that is fair.
So, Ghost Bear, then I have to ask. Opinions on haggis. that is entirely fair. I've had haggis. I actually really enjoy it.
What's all in haggis?
I mean, when it boils down to is it's a sausage or like a meatloaf. It's the big thing is it's like in a sheep's stomach, and that I think gets people.
Yeah,
Yeah, but sausages is an intestine.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing, right? But it's kind of like a spicy meatloaf. It's nice, like, and I say spicy, but like not hot spicy, just flavorful.
James, depending what kind of sausage. Modern day
But like
sausages usually are not.
traditionally sausages and
Is
Yeah, well,
intestine.
and that's the thing is I don't think modern haggis is generally sheep's stomach. I think that's more the tradition, and now we have alternatives, right?
Well, but it's
But I mean, if it was, I ate it anyways because if you don't think about it,
yeah.
you can
Well,
eat a
but
lot of things.
it's the same way. Like people eat, like a lot of other people eat sausage, just don't think about the fact of what exactly are they eating.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, people who eat McDonald's don't actually think about what they're eating.
People eat hot dogs.
Yep.
I say as someone who totally eats hot dogs, but
Yep.
don't think about it.
Yeah, it's the same way. When we were in Vancouver, I ended up having not salmon. Damn it, can't remember. Either way, I was having fish.
Oh, that is usually a no for you, is it not?
I don't like if you ask me if I like seafood, I say no.
Fair.
But at the same time, I also understand that for the most part, um, like fish is just good meat. It's not really going to be a problem. So yeah, I ate
if
it, and
you eat
like
fish,
my
if you eat fish on the coastline, it's usually good.
Yep.
If
That-
you
yeah.
eat fish in the prairies, what kind of fish are you
That is
eating?
yes.
And
Yeah.
Well, that's the basically the fish our dad used to eat is what's convinced me that I did not like fish.
yep, because the gross isn't. Yeah, fish shouldn't smell so fishy.
No, that's usually when fish is bad.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
okay.
the fish.
Answer Ghost Bird's question. Sashimi, or did you eat other fish?
Who were you asking?
Ghost Bear's wondering if James had sashimi.
No, it was like a common type of fish, like it was salmon or tuna or something.
I've had halibut in Vancouver. It was
I
good.
think I had some really nice halibut out on the East Coast.
And either way, like the whole thing was good because like just eating it was like had a good flavor. I liked it, but my brain at the back of my brain just the whole time was like, but, and I'm like, just stop it. You are not helpful here, brain. But that's the thing. If I let myself think about it, then I would have suddenly been like, oh no, I don't like this. Because my brain is like, but you don't like this, and I'm like, but do I actually not like this?
I feel like I've definitely mentioned it before. And I mean, no disrespect, obviously, to cultures who eat fish for breakfast. But my dad was very Scottish. Like, so painfully Scottish. And I loved him for it. But one of his biggest thrills was kippers for breakfast. And I'm of the opinion you should never wake up to the smell of frying fish.
I'm under the opinion you should never smell fish.
I mean,
Period.
you should smell fish, but it should just smell like meat.
Yeah.
It shouldn't smell like fish. You should not be able to identify that the meat is fish meat.
Oh, depends on how attuned your nose is.
That's fair. My new nose is very out of whack, so.
I'm gonna say partly that kippers generally you have to get frozen, so that's probably part of it.
Yeah.
Never microwave fish. That
Oh
should be a
gosh,
crime.
no. That is a crime.
I mean, if you want to microwave fish in your microwave home alone, you do. If you do this in a workplace, you are a horrible human being. Okay, I've retrieved 2 of my bodies.
How many bodies do you have out there?
One more. The original one. Which is no longer guarded by a troll, so.
I mean, that's a plus.
James is up there. Okay. Where am I building this road? Just straight shot through the whole forest, or?
Basically, your goal is to get to here, because there you could turn north and you're on a new continent.
Yes, I understand that. That's where I'm headed. But after that, where do I head? Do I
I don't know.
follow a coastline?
There's your
Or
goal.
I know the goal.
I don't know what the best way is after that. I think it's probably too hilly to do anything other than follow the coastline. Ah, nah, I'm just pinging it random.
So I feel like I kind of understand the concept behind having a vegan microwave. At the same time, it seems a little ridiculous, but I'm also not vegan. And I understand there's very strong opinions about like mixing the like contamination, essentially, is I think the word I'm looking for. I don't quite know how that would work with a microwave. Like I can see it with pans. I don't. It doesn't fully make sense to me because you
Yeah,
can wash
it'd
pans,
be like
but like
having a
I
vegan.
understand.
It'd be like having a vegan oven.
Kinda, yeah. You know what I mean. And again, like this is just me being. This is not something I think about. So there's probably like a thought process there that I just don't track because I'm not vegan. Oh yeah, that could track for me.
All right, so what do I drop now that I'm carrying too much crap? All right, we'll go with this.
So there was a point where I went out to an Indian restaurant with my roommate at the time. And like I've grown up like neighbor two doors down. They they're from India, like amazing, amazing food. I love the smell. My dad was super into like curry and stuff. So I grew up with this. And we went out and we ate and then we came back. Oh, I think I found your troll. And I
Not
remember
my
my
troll.
roommate like complaining that their food, like their coat smelled like curry, and I was so confused why that was a problem.
I know we have some neighbors that sometimes you can smell them. It's like, that smells so good.
That's the thing. Sometimes I'm like, I kind of wish we had more of that culture where you just like knock on the door and you're like, "Hey, that
Yeah,
smells amazing. Do you mind if I like have a spoonful?"
the thing is, they probably would just invite you right in and go, absolutely.
Probably.
We're just too scared to do it.
Well, it's not that we don't live in a culture like that. It's that that culture has largely been killed off by we don't know our neighbors, we don't know any of the people around us, sort of
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
deal.
got
that's
new
fair.
neighbors, so I tried to introduce myself, and that was a hell no.
Yeah.
We don't want to know who you are. I'm like, okay. Kind of like our last neighbors.
Yep.
I was always very confused. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not super close with my neighbors. But I had an uncle who managed to live in the same place for 20 years, had no idea his neighbors' names, and I was like, that's such a weird thought to me.
I'm like, I'd like to. You literally live across the door from us. And we'll see each other all the time. Maybe we could have a chat and look out
Yeah.
for each other a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like my one neighbor there, he's great. We keep an eye on each other's places because you know there's theft and stuff. And so he's requested that if I ever see anything, to message him. I have his number in my phone. We don't talk a lot, but when we do, it's always like cordial. We like each other.
Yeah, know who each
That-
other is, right?
Yeah, that just reminds
And
me.
my other neighbors are really great too. They chat with me often, and we wave and stuff. Like, I don't need to be in their pocket.
Yeah, so that reminds me of a story from down in Vancouver in the neighborhood of my uh, basically my wife's aunt and uncle. Well, somebody like and they got up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and they looked out and they're like, "Oh, that's so weird. Like one of our neighbors is underneath their car working on it at like 1 in the morning. That's bizarre." And then did like that was all they did. And then the next morning, the neighbor like gets up and starts their car, and the car is really loud and has problems because the catalytic converter's been stolen. So they call the cops
Cheap.
and that, and then the neighbor's like, "Oh, I was wondering what you were doing under your car at like 1 o'clock in the morning," and like, you saw someone under my car at 1 o'clock in the morning, and you just went, "That's weird," and moved on. But yeah, it was just like, yep, you basically watched someone steal something and just sat there and went, "That's weird," and moved on.
Facial
Yeah.
awareness or the awareness of what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, my neighbors have two very nice trucks, and there was definitely a morning where the alarms went off, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And luckily the alarm scared off whoever it was, but like, that's kind of our deal, is if we ever see anyone in the backyard or whatever, we're gonna go over and be like, hey, who the heck are you?
Yeah. Our last neighbors, we would steal each other's packages. It's like, oh, there's a package at the door. I'm gonna grab that before someone else does. And then when our
Yeah.
neighbors come home, it's like, hey, here's your package. And they would steal our package. Kind of nice. Prevented porch fire. Simple little shit does. It's kind of nice.
All right.
That was the thing, and like, luckily I haven't had to deal with it in a little bit here. But there is another dog in the neighborhood whose bark sounds a lot like my dog. And I think between the two, because Jax is a guardian breed, this neighbor felt that my dog was barking all the time. Still don't know who this person was. And instead of just talking to me and being like, hey, like, you know, your dog seems to be barking all the time. This is disruptive. Could you, like... They just consistently phoned animal control. That's all they did. I don't know who they
I hate
are.
that.
And, you know, and so, like, I've spoken with animal control a couple times. The last time I didn't end up speaking to them. But somebody phoned because there was a hole in my back fence, and they were concerned about Jax getting out, because he does throw himself against the fence. And I go out, and this gap is, like, 2 inches. And for context, for people who don't know my dog, he's 70 pounds. He is a chonk.
He is about the size and shape of a barrel.
That. He's not getting through this gap. And, like, I'm glad somebody said something, but they could have just dropped me a note. Because I'm like, thank you for telling me so I can fix this. But also, just drop me a note. Like, put it in my mailbox. I don't even have to sign it. I don't care. But, like, why are we escalating?
Yeah. The sorts of neighbors who want HOAs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I hate HOAs so much.
See, but HOAs can actually sometimes be beneficial
Yeah,
when the
but not
person
very
running an
often.
HOA is good.
That's the problem, though. You get a good one, and then it's fine. And then you get
Yeah.
other people who come in. And
Well,
unfortunately, then...
But that's the entire thing of there was one guy who's like, so like he was sharing stories from his HOA because he's like, I used to have a terrible HOA. But I also just realized that, hey, why don't I get active? So he got onto the HOA. So he was actually the person enforcing the HOA at that like within like I think it was something like a year and a half. So suddenly now it was a base of it was like, oh, well, yep, we're just gonna talk to the person. We're gonna be like, hey, some of the neighbors have a problem with this thing on your yard. Would like to find a resolution that, you know, kind of meets their concerns and also isn't dumb and obscene. Basically, I don't want to give you fines and useless BS. We'd just like to find a solution.
Yep, that's the way to do it. It's like, hey, let's talk to people, see if we can find a solution.
Yeah.
No? Okay, then now it's time to take it to the next level.
I will actually say that is one thing, because I lived in a strata for a while. And that was one thing I appreciated was my next door neighbor, so we were in townhouses, was using gasoline on the dandelions in the front yard. And the front yards didn't have fences, they were all just one yard. And I was concerned about this. Because, like, we had smokers and people just dropped cigarettes, you know. And, again, for people who don't know our area very well, fire's an issue. Fire's a constant issue here.
Yeah.
So I talked to this neighbor and I was like, hey, I would prefer if you don't use gasoline, friend, kind of thing. And it was an older guy, and he legit, I still remember to this day, he was like, well, gasoline's more natural than Roundup because it comes from the earth. Direct quote.
I mean, in the end, Roundup also comes out of the dirt if you're using
Right.
that metric.
So anyways, he could not. But what he started doing, which, like, fine but no, was he would start spraying when I wasn't home, except for I would come home and smell gasoline. So I was like, I'm really concerned about this because these are all conjoined houses. If his house goes up, my house goes up, you know? So I actually reached out to the fire department at first, and I was like, what do I do? And they referred me to the fire chief. It was a whole thing, and unfortunately, because it's private property, they couldn't do anything about it, but they advised me to contact the strata. And how the strata handled it, and I do really appreciate, is the strata, like, head at the time just walked over and, like, had a quiet word with this dude and was like, just stop it, please, or we will fine you. And it was very cordial, and I don't think my neighbor particularly liked me after that, but...
What? I died? Why did I die? I thought I was fine.
Mysterious death.
Mysterious death.
I mean, I was fighting Greylings, but...
But yeah, in the terms of dogs not being escape artists, yes and no. Jax definitely isn't. Jax, even when he does get out, he's kind of a homebody. He just wants to hang out. My grandpa, who lived in this house before we did, he had a husky, and there is a part of my shed that is legit fenced off with, like, chicken wire, because Max used to, like, ninja climb between the fence and the shed to get over the fence. And then he'd go for a wander, and he'd have a great time. Oh, that poor Grey Dwarf really wants to kill me, but I'm next to a fire. Good luck.
I was watching Itchy Boots. She was staying at a B&B, and they had a dog there. And she was all friendly with the dog on the video, and then when she wanted to leave, she jumped on her bike and opened the gate and left, and the dog came running out of the gate. And she's like, no, get back in, close the gate. Nope, she had such a hard time getting the dog in and the gate closed. Finally gets the dog in, closes the gate, and the dog just leaps right over the fence and chases her. And she goes, oh, okay, never mind. Did all this work to make sure that the dog would stay inside, and just one little bound and it was over the fence. Obviously, that fence wasn't meant to keep that dog in.
I was out walking my dog at one point, and Jax has a really bad habit, and it's kind of adorable. But if he wants to investigate things, he'll actually shove them with his nose. So we were walking, and we were right next to a gate, and there was this big black dog on the other side of the gate, and Jax couldn't see him, but he could hear him. So, being a jerk, he shoved the gate with his nose, and the gate was not latched. So this dog came bounding out. It was kind of aggressive, and Jax is a bit of a chicken, so he ends up, like, wrapped around me a couple times, being chased by this dog, and then cowering against my legs. Luckily, I'm very good at barking at things, so I was just like, get back in your yard, and it went back in, and I shut the gate, but I was like, dude, you cause so many problems by hitting things with your face. Could you stop?
Just definitely running through the forest here, and a troll keeps throwing rocks at me from behind some distance. Oh, and of course there's now a troll in front, and I've lost my torch.
Hmm. You still use torches?
Yep. What do you use?
I find them so annoying. I just don't use them at all.
Okay, that's fair.
Plain the best.
Mostly I was using it because I needed it inside the tomb just to make sure I wasn't leaving any treasure behind,
Yeah, it's
and
the
then I wanted to burn it off.
only use of a torch is treasure hunting.
So I find if you zoom all out as far as you can, the torch is not nearly as bad. But I do still mostly not use them.
I realized I built my path right into a copper mine.
I mean, the copper mine will only lasts for so long.
Yeah, but I got to build a road around it or through it.
Yep.
Or maybe bridge over top of it. I don't know.
I mean, after the copper's been mined, just raising the dirt back up with using the rocks might work out. I'm not sure what the best way past will be, but oh, there's the troll. Goodbye, troll. We're not doing this today.
Got a quick look at the map to make sure James isn't too close to me.
But he was too close to you. Not really. Hopefully the troll's not going to follow me all the way to where you are.
Oh, goody. Cart has been destroyed.
Okay.
So I don't actually click away my death markers
Yeah.
usually. But I've died a lot in this continent. There we go. So I feel like it's starting to get hard finding my body.
Because you have to basically go through and try to find.
Which one's the most relevant? Yeah.
Yeah. Which one's the most recent? Why are there multiple for this day? This is BS.
There are definitely multiple for a few days.
So where is the... Oh, right. Over there's probably the shelter.
Day
Ah, heck
61
yes.
sounds about right.
I'm probably not getting the rested bonus because this idiot is over here.
I was standing right next to him when he said that.
Well, of course, you were the idiot I was referring to, naturally. Okay, I'm gonna AFK for a second to pour myself a drink. I'll be right back.
You on Discord? Are you on Discord now?
Thanks.
I don't
There's
hear
you,
you.
Jess.
Okay.
I forgot that this is muted. I went to these burial chambers and that had 3 ghosts.
3 ghosts in the burial chamber.
It was horrible.
All right, and I'm back.
I doubt it.
What do you doubt?
I doubt you are back.
I think James is actually just making Skittle water.
Wait, is that a kick?
Yep.
Wait, I didn't know you.
If you're unarmed
kick.
and you hit the throw button, you kick, or the alternative attack button, you will kick. So if you have a spear, you'll throw, but if you do not have a spear or any of that, then you kick.
Didn't know that.
Well, you learn something new.
Why were you kicking me?
Because you didn't believe I was back.
Hmm.
It
Makes
seems
sense.
like an appropriate escalation.
Do we have a fishing?
Fishing rod? No.
Yeah, do we?
Nope.
Not yet.
You're working on?
I don't know. What RV you looking?
I'm just building a road to the merchant. That's all I'm doing. Shep is exploring as always. The mapper of all things.
Shep's getting revenge is what Shep's doing.
I would like copper gear, but I don't think we're there yet.
I mean, we're getting there. And you would not like copper gear, you'd like bronze gear.
Bronze gear, same. I mean, no. You knew what I meant.
Yeah, I did know what you mean. It was even close to what you said.
I almost want to feel bad for this troll, but I don't.
The trolls get everything they get that comes their way.
Right? I do kind of enjoy whenever I'm like, oh, I think I've outrun it, and then I turn around and I'm like, oh, nope. You know, I would have been cunningly hidden by those rocks if he hadn't come around them.
Maybe they can see around corners.
Corners and doors, kid.
It's one thing I didn't realize how many times Holden says doors and corners after Miller is gone.
Forest.
Because he does actually say it quite a few
Forest
times.
is moving. I'm too
Oh.
far away
Hmm.
from home to.
I mean, we say that, but
Right, we're not really that far away. Looking at the map.
that's the may make it, may not make it. Either way, I need to drop off some stuff, so this is fine. Skill improved to level 83. It's like I've been running a lot.
Like,
You
from
good?
what, though?
What was that?
But from what?
Not from what, to what.
Literally.
You don't have to be running from something.
Oh, then you're not doing it right. Running should
I mean,
only happen if
what's
you're running away.
what's your running level?
I don't actually know. I'll tell you when I'm not being chased by a troll.
Hmm. See, the whole thing is whenever you run because you're always being chased by something, it tends to go downward after it goes up. It's the downside
If I
of
set
frequent
my
deaths.
problems on fire, they're no longer
Setting
problems.
yourself on fire does not count.
You can't dictate how I handle my problems.
There. Forest is resting.
All right. You are right. I cannot dictate how you solve your problems, but I can judge you for it.
Forest is resting.
Hey James, can I
Cool.
put spikes up against the wall?
Yep, if you want to put spikes up, feel free.
It'll take me a while to get the material, but I'll work on it. It would take care of most of these buggers.
Do they impale themselves?
Yes, I do.
Now, as I was trying to remember, I'm like, I don't remember how the spikes work in this game, but
Because they want
It's
to
been
get
too
to the
long.
pigs, so they keep passing that fence.
okay, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, putting
My
spikes
running is
around the pigs would
29.
probably be great. Yeah, that's
Which,
the
considering, yeah.
the big thing is if you can avoid dying, your
Oh, yeah,
skills
that's
go up
not happening. We all
significantly
know that.
faster.
My run is at 30.
Yeah, but you build roads. Not a lot of running involved in building roads. What's your highest skill?
Running.
Yeah, so I just had the realization. I'm like, I don't know what skills you're going to build up building roads.
36 wood cutting.
My highest is definitely running as well.
Clubs is 31. Running 30.
So I brought back 14 cords. I don't know where to put them.
14. There's a bunch of cores right here. Second from the end, miscellaneous.
Awesome.
Oh, running 31. I made the mistake in our game to sail a little too close to some mosquitoes.
Oh no.
Yep.
No!
Been there, done that. Cannot.
Definitely my own game. I think I've made, at this point, 5 sets of troll armor and like 3 sets of bronze because I keep going on adventures and doing dumb things.
Yeah, it's best to not take good gear when you go adventuring.
I was trying to head into the swamp. Just didn't make it to the swamp, you know. Or I was trying to head up a mountain to see if there were things, and as it turns out, there are things. And if I'm not ready for the swamp, I'm definitely not ready for the mountains. Oops.
Nope. No, there's a order to it, and it's definitely go swamp before whichever you call it. Go swamp before mountain, and mountain before plains, and whatever happens after plains, I am both looking forward to the Mistlands because hey, it's gonna be new stuff, and also not looking forward to the
I'm excited
Mistlands.
for the Mistlands.
You say that. How excited are you for plains?
Plains suck.
Yes, but Mistlands are going to be the newer. They're basically the new plains.
This is true, but it will be a whole new level of terror. And if me playing the forest as long as I did proves anything,
That is fair.
I make bad choices.
Why is there a 2-star boar out of their cage? There's so many of them out of their cage. Wow. Which I need to. I have work to do.
Oh, shoot. It's a troll.
Oh shit. Yep. That'd be a problem.
Oh yeah, there's one that likes to live on the edge there. He's a jerk.
You say that like there's any trolls that aren't jerks.
The ones in their caves are almost okay.
Fair. I never see them.
I like troll caves. Eat myself in and out.
Feeling my cart's gonna be gone. Oh, you didn't even destroy my cart? Cool.
Does anybody have a bronze axe they're not using?
I have a bronze axe I'm not using right now if you want to.
Okay. Like I don't want to use the bronze that we have made just for that.
I didn't realize how weak I am with an arrow. Bow and arrow. Suck.
I have an idea for your pig fence.
Oh.
On the inside.
So my plan is to expand the farm at some point, and then I'll reposition the pigs probably. I was actually thinking of putting the pigs out this way, but I don't know. But either way, stuff can get changed up. But here is the axe.
Thank you.
Let's see. Go grab the butcher's knife. Make some pigs squeal.
are you going, troll? You're almost dead.
Maybe he's got some self-preservation after all.
There you go.
Yeah, I feel like I need to build a more robust fencing system for the boars.
Perhaps a ditch.
Well, more so like a thicker wall. But honestly, that's actually getting a better, thicker wall is going to be a lot easier when we can do stone.
Yeah, stone walls are great.
Oh yeah, so I figured out why in the D&D game we're playing with Foundry, why some of the stuff does not exist in the Foundry for like the D&D resources.
Yeah.
And that is so anything that is not part of the source rules, you cannot legally copy without permission. And they're just like they're not official D&D anything. They're just a program for helping you play the game or play whatever. It doesn't have to be D&D. It could be any role-playing game.
I actually read or was listening to something that was talking about how Wizards of the Coast is planning for their new one to take away that free license that they have for 5e. So you can only get content through Wizards of the Coast, and I was like, that is such a bad idea.
The whole thing though is they can't actually fully do it because you can't patent game rules. So people can still add stuff. They just can't use any of your your licensed stuff at all because you're not giving anything open source.
Yeah, I feel like at that point it's going to be like the Westchester House. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing is like the thing is it gets me when like D&D gets all you're exploiting our copyright. When it's like, so what's a halfling?
Well, that's the thing, right?
It is called a halfling because they got sued for calling them hobbits. That's what it is. Hobbits and halflings are the same damn thing.
Yeah.
It just you can't legally call them hobbits, so they're halflings.
I want to feel really bad for this troll. I am inside a, like, not in a troll cave, but in the alcove. And he keeps walking around trying to attack me, and I have definitely shot it in the butt at least twice.
Say rude, but not illegal.
You're gonna hang around by a troll cave. I definitely do want to get on Foundry at some point, just play around for my game.
Yep.
Which I feel like I need to tease you about a little bit, because I'm pretty sure next week was supposed to be my game.
Next week is your game, is it not?
You said in Goblin Chat, so next week. So everyone's assuming it's Goblin Chat, which is fine,
No.
I don't care. While you were running it, you were like, so next week this is what we'll be doing. And I
mean, that's just a habit of next week, but...
Yeah. No, and I was kind of laughing, because I was like, I don't really care either way, but...
No, that's the plan is in 2 weeks.
Okay. We may want to let Spencer know.
Yep.
I was gonna harass you about it. I was like, technically, but I also don't really super whatever how it works.
No, I definitely meant 2 weeks from now.
For the game that 2 of my players don't have character sheets for. I mean, what?
Yep.
At least Alicia's, I can make theirs in Foundry. Jeff's
Yep.
not picked a character.
Yeah, now that I've started to understand how the Foundry works, I like making characters in it.
I'm
Okay,
50-50 on
my butcher
digital
knife.
rolling because I do kind of like it, and I do kind of hate it.
Yeah, it's convenient, but I rolling actual physical dice is better. Okay, we've caught up in our smelting.
Well, I guess I will wait till the fog goes away to see where this troll is, because that doesn't sound like a surprise I want.
Yeah, I'm just kind of hanging out too, and I'm like, well, what can I do while this fog's here? Because I can't really do anything. Too dang dark, too foggy to build a road, because I might build a shitty road.
Yeah, that's where it can be a pain in the butt building in poor weather conditions. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna replace the last piece of leather armor I have. Won't be good bronze stuff yet across the board, but I'll be in full bronze.
Nice. I also want to say in terms of the D&D, I know it's not everybody's cup of, like, not our group, but in general, playing
Yeah.
goblins, but I'm enjoying the chaos so much.
Yep, I'm enjoying the goblin life.
I feel like it's a good combination where we want story advancement, but we don't... I want to say we don't care. We don't
Yeah.
have as many concerns about, like, reputation, etc.
Yeah.
Although I do appreciate the one time we try to make friends, we end up kidnapped.
Say always be suspicious. Always be suspicious.
Always suspicious. I was laughing at the irony of us being like, so what are their names? And you're like, well, I guess these kidnappers need names now.
Yep. They didn't have names. They probably don't need names, but they'll get names.
First they need names. I need to know who we're gonna hunt down in like 7 levels.
Okay, back to mining copper. So yeah, I've got no bronze weapons yet. The only item I had bronze, I have a bronze pickaxe and a bronze axe. But my armor is now fully bronze, so suck on that, trolls. The thing I'm going to need though is a good big tower shield, because that's when you get the well, so once you get the tower shield for the swamp sort of tier or the iron tier, at that point you can basically just go shrug off trolls. You can just, no, I'm gonna hunker down behind my shield, or not the tower shield, the iron level small shield, because you can get your parry timing right, and you can basically stun a troll, and then you can just sit there and like pluck at it. And it's very satisfying to like stun something that's so big.
You're 5 times my size, but guess what?
Yeah. Your log don't mean crap when I can block it with my tiny little shield that's like the diameter of my shield is the diameter of the log you're swinging at me. How does this work? Don't think about it too hard.
What level is my leather at? 2. Okay. That would explain why.
There's better leather equipment sitting in the box back at base. This night is so dark and foggy, I can barely follow the road.
I'm not building a road.
I mean, like, the existing road is hardly useful for me right now just because I mostly know that I'm on the road because there isn't other stuff popping up in front of me. That's just like adjust where I'm like, oh, there's things in front of me, then I should adjust to the side that has the least amount of stuff. Boxing champion right over here.
So in a list of trips I shouldn't have taken this week, went to Staples.
Staples is dangerous.
Right. So James, I now have an orange pen, as well as a teal pen. I wanted the teal pen. So if you want an orange pen, I have one.
Maybe.
I also have a red that I think is more of a reddish orange. I'll bring them up next time.
Yep.
I was like, ooh, it's teal. I want this. Don't tell me this troll left the entire area. Doing a pout. I think you missed. I can't tell if that's troll or rocks.
Could be one, could be the other. Could be my demise. Could just be a pile of rocks that are not going to be a problem.
Oh, the cart's been destroyed again.
They're very offended by that. Oh, of course. There's a stump here, but I don't have an axe on me right now.
I do.
Yeah, I might borrow that in a second. Or I'm just gonna pickaxe my way around this stump. I can get away with just pickaxing my way around the stump. This is fine.
I find it very rude after all the trouble I went to kill that troll. It's just left.
Self-preservation.
I don't think trolls had that.
So that just, it reminds me of a meme where basically like it's of RPG party where they're like chugging health potions and casting healing spells and reviving all stuff, and then it's like the enemy basically does like a self heal thing, and the entire like the party's like, excuse? You're not allowed to do that. That's a player character thing. Yeah, I remember like back before I really started playing D&D, but I remember there was a D&D campaign going on, and the players were fighting, like not like a boss, but a tougher enemy. But they were whittling him down. And then like towards the end, the bad guy like uses a healing scroll, and everyone was like, that's not fair. And it's like, what do you mean that's not fair? Why should the players be allowed to use items and the villains shouldn't?
I definitely find that, and I've seen a few conversations. I seem to recall you might have something somewhere where like big bad guy gets introduced and players get like an insane shot and then they're dead. And I've seen DMs talking about this and they're like, yeah, and then no, then you make them teleport away with 1 hit point. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, depends on what you're exactly playing.
That's fair.
There's times where it's like, nope, let the dice do their thing, and like there are times where you guys have one-shotted something that you weren't supposed to. But I've been like, no, it's fun. It's cool. This is fine.
Yeah.
There are other
This
times
is
where it's
more
like,
like
no.
people are talking about endgame bosses, like in our case,
Yeah.
Levi, and they have underestimated just luck in general, and they're like,
Yeah.
well, you know, and I'm like, and I understand from a story standpoint, they're like, oh, it's a good story, and I'm like, I agree with you, but also, have you considered?
Yeah, there's always options. It's just a case of what are you going to do? How's the right way to play this?
Like even and this sounds like a dumb option, but I feel like it'd be fun. Is you have them defeat that one, and then like literally there's just a scroll there, and it's like, congratulations, you beat like my decoy or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right
Well,
around
Some
it.
kind of mocking, and I understand that's a lot to make
Well,
up on the
so
fly.
no, but so one thing though is if you have a big boss fight, why are you going to let this just be resolved with however the dice fall? Why not have 3 backup schemes?
Well, that's it. That poor troll was just minding his own business. Because, I mean, I've definitely, and I know you have because I play with you, had players who have upended my plan,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but then it's always
that's
kind of
it.
fun to see where can I take this.
Yep. Yeah, one of those things where if you want to let it so that if the players like where the dice just are what they are and they one shot something, cool. Then do that. But make it so then that case, if the villain is defeated in a way that doesn't feel sufficiently villainy, make it then so like the villain is actually like, while yes they were the villain, they were also holding back something worse. So now you have to deal with what they were holding back or whatever.
Or they were the puppet master of that villain that you just got.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The villain that you just destroyed now has something bigger and badder that goes, hey, why did someone take out my my puppet over here? I don't appreciate this. And comes looking
And I
to see
felt like
what
you
you're
can
doing.
do it in kind of like heart-wrenching way where the dying thing is like, thank you for releasing me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can build that.
Yep. But that's the thing, like if you really take some time to plan, it really takes a lot for players to really actually mess up your deal. Which is also one of the things when people have this mentality of players versus game masters, it just drives me nuts because I'm like, it can't be players versus game masters because a game master cheating is not cheating. It's them just playing the game.
I mean, I will argue there are some bad ones that cheat, and it's not to play the game; it's because they want to win. But yeah, in general, it should be co-op. It should not be, oh well, you know, I'm doing this because I need to defeat. It's like, no, we're telling a story.
Yeah.
And yes, you need to defeat the big bad, but the game master is merely facilitating the best story.
But not necessarily the best story, but they're telling of the story that fits what the players
Yeah.
have asked for. Like, if you're having those games where it's like, nope, this is not about what's going to be the best story. It's just about what do the dice give us and what feels real. Is the story going to be good and perfect? No, but a lot of stories aren't. Ah, yes, crumble. But not
I think
everything
a
crumbled.
good game master has to realize this is the story I was trying to tell. That story is no longer going to work.
Well, so one of the key things is if you're playing role-playing games, don't try to tell a story so much as um, leave room for the players to tell a story. Because there's not the story you're making, there's the story of the progression of these heroes. It's one of those key things. There's a hello log.
Yeah,
There's a log in my copper mine.
there is.
All right.
Kind of fell in there.
Well, once I'm done pulling all of this copper out, I think you'll be able to fill this back up again.
Filling it up takes a lot of.
Yeah, okay. Go around it, fill it up, whatever. I mean, I feel like we probably have a lot of stone.
You're not wrong.
You know what doesn't work when you're running away from a troll trying to punch things?
That does not sound helpful.
Yeah. I ended up in the water, and you know how that works.
Yep.
I was like, okay, I can shoot it. It's walking. No, I can't.
All right, now to go around and make sure that I've actually collected all of the little bits of silver or copper that I can.
Yes. Always a tricky little part of the equation.
Yeah, right there's a copper piece that I can still get to.
I call baloney. That hit me through a cave wall. Rude.
I mean, yeah, that is always rude. Yeah, unfortunately, because of the fact that this is so low in the water line, it's much harder to actually make sure that you've got all of the copper out that you can get.
Yeah, I saw you were making it all fancy. Copper at that level is a little difficult. Giving you another log.
Yep. I Indiana Jones that one.
Do-do-do-do.
It was like rolling down, but the one edge was up on the side of the mine, the other edge was down in the mine with me. So I quickly ran towards the mine wall so that I could get underneath the rolling log. So well, I'm probably gonna call this one soon here because my pickaxe is just about done.
Well, pickaxe can be fixed just a little down the road here.
Nope. Yeah, it's
Oh,
the
you have
copper
a
one.
copper. It's one of the reasons I don't upgrade until quite a bit further.
I just find for me personally, since I'm often not carting the copper back, I'm running back and forth a lot. One run of the pickaxe, once it's been upgraded a bit, is about right.
Yeah, that's about as much as you can carry anyway. I say as someone who still hasn't built a pickaxe.
And I'm a road builder, and you guys are.
Yeah.
I bring carts everywhere.
Be right back.
I see you two have been taking stuff out of the cart and going, "This is garbage. You don't need to actually bring it with."
Yeet.
Walk to the edge and toss it. Your turn. Didn't realize building this road here would be so tough.
Okay, I am back.
Welcome back.
Dare you?
I agree. How dare I come back?
And just like that, the 3J's. They
Came
came
with
though.
two
Where's the other J?
So yeah, something shifted in our door or doorway, and the door doesn't want to close properly anymore.
Ooh, this is
Oh?
not the time for that.
Nope, not a good time of year for it for sure.
Blame it on us, since we were there earlier.
Good idea. If you can blame it on somebody else, why not?
Be right back.
Oh no. I always blame ghosts, personally.
Ghost bear.
It's actually become this running thing at work, which I don't understand, by the way. When I joined my workplace, I was informed that we had a store ghost, and I'm like, I'm not that superstitious, is how I'm gonna put it.
So
like,
we were
I
blaming it
joke.
on you, Ghost Bear.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Yep.
So I joke about our store ghost. His name is Alexander. I did not name him. I want this known. I am putting this out into the world because I keep getting blamed for naming Alexander. But we have the store ghost, and sometimes when things are going wrong, I'm just like, Alexander, stop that, and things tend to work. So I have now been designated the Ghost Wrangler. And 100% my new store manager was like, what's with Alexander? And I'm like, this is, and then everyone's like, oh, Rebecca named him. And I'm like, I did not name Alexander. I came into the workplace and was told that there was a ghost and his name was Alexander.
So is
Also,
like
100% am chasing trolls, and I have a cat here trying to help me. That's not very helpful.
so Alexander's not quite a friendly ghost, but not a.
It's mostly just a brat, to be honest. The only thing I've seen anywhere close
Alright.
where I could be like, maybe, is sometimes the ice bin throws itself.
Alright, let's see. I do not have the wood to build a crafting table.
Where are you?
Really close by where there's all those stacks of wood.
Yeah. But seems a little dark. So dark I can't see where the road is.
Excuse me, sir. How dare you go after the cart?
The cart has been moved.
Yeah, no, but
Down
there's
the
a gray
road.
dwarf that was coming by, so I'm like, alright, I'm gonna fight him, a gray dwarf brute. But he came after, like, he ran past me to go to you where you were with the cart.
Because the cart's more important. That's where the valuables are. That was cool that my timing of my axe hit the incoming stone. I realized you could parry incoming rocks with an axe.
Sorry, hitting the axe or blocking with the axe?
No, with an axe hitting an incoming rock.
That is interesting.
I was definitely not blocking.
Because that's with blocking, I would not be so surprised, but The forest is moving by your tiny little encampment.
Really?
Yep. You put a bed there and a crafting table, and you got the forest is moving.
Better eat something.
I mean, whatever, it'll be fine. It's a tiny little place to defend, and if they break anything, who cares? There's no like pigs to lose or any of that, so
Yeah, at least
I'm
it's
not too
over
worried
here.
about it. You know, I just want to quickly get my rest. I was in there resting, and I don't want to like step out and lose my resting bonus. I'm not gonna. Dang it! It was resting, and then it stopped. I just wanted my resting bonus. I just wanted to do this fight, not screwed over. It's too much to ask.
Yes.
I'm only at 39 health. So fight's not going to be very healthy.
I would just like to be able to get stamina back at a half decent rate, but I'm cold. I don't have my rested bonus. It's just annoying.
Sit down inside and get my health up.
Is it actually giving you the rested?
No.
Yeah, enemies are nearby, I think, is a problem.
Yes, it's giving me rested. Never mind. I have 11 rested. Took a while, but he must have been distracting me enough. And you deserve to die.
Yeah, there's no brutes left in the pile though, so... Oh no, never mind,
Yes,
there's a
there
brute.
is.
Bloody hell,
Getting
I thought I'd
hard.
taken all of them out.
Hard.
That's one thing I've got. I'm in fully bronze armor though, so at least I can stand here and just tank most of the stuff without too much trouble.
So the fact that you and Juan are sitting in the same place, your names are just like Shawam, and it's kind of great.
Okay, that cluster is over. That cluster buck.
Clusterbuck.
Ghost Bear has said yes, Juan? Question mark.
Yeah. You weren't
Oh, we
here.
were talking about ghosts while you were on.
She was blaming ghosts
That's fair.
for it, so I said Ghost Bear.
I was explaining that the store ghost Alexander has nothing to do with me, and people need to stop attributing all his bad behavior to me.
That doesn't sound likely though.
You know what it is? Is whenever something goes wrong, I blame Alexander because it's just easier and it's kind of funny. But it is
God
to the
damn it,
point
Kyle.
where now they have decided that this is my job. So like the tablet wasn't working the other day, and I like grabbed the tablet and I shook it, and I was like, "Alexander, get out!" And then I hit the link that somebody was trying to hit, and it worked. So I've
Yeah.
done it to myself. Also, occasionally, because our water pressure is kind of shoddy, it's an old building. I'll lean over into the sinks and yell, like, "Alexander, get out of the drains," and then generally the pressure goes up. So yeah, I've done all of this to myself, but I was doing it to be funny, and now it's become a thing.
Oh, for crying out loud. Leave me alone. I just want to build a road.
Yeah, nighttime is a hard time to try to get anything done.
Yep.
I'll toss it. Going overboard. Do we need to keep troll trophies?
Probably not. I don't think any trophies we really need to keep. So if there's not space, you can toss them out. But there's also some other things, like I figure resin and gray dwarf eyes are probably not things we need to hold on to. And I've
Yep.
like used a buke berry once. I don't know that we're using them enough to warrant storing those.
Yep. Got no need for them.
Hey there, how are you? Is that
I was about to
is that
ask
directed to
Michael.
us? You've already been
Oh.
here once.
I was gonna ask Michael, isn't it the time for all good Texans to be in bed so Santa can visit?
1 p.m. Santa should be
Yeah, but-
coming around.
Yeah.
But Michael's already not getting a visit from Santa, so why bother?
Well, no, Santa's still going to come by and give him
Some
some
coal?
coal. Yeah.
Isn't that a gift in Texas?
Especially in this cold. It's like, yes, please, cold. I need something to burn. Apparently, you use oil to like crude oil
Oh,
for
okay.
heat.
No,
in
it's got to
Texas.
be good. It's got to be a good proper whale oil. Crude oil is just
I was
too
about to
crude.
say, I've actually lived in a house that ran off oil heat. It's great till it's not.
Have you ever seen those? They're heaters that basically use like they can use like used engine oil, but they're
Mhm.
oil heaters that can use just about any type of oil.
No, I actually haven't. That's kind of cool.
They're pretty good for what they are, but also like they with all systems like that where you can just fill it with whatever you want, they tend to leak.
Yeah.
Do you really want used engine oil leaking anywhere?
Nope. That sounds like a fire hazard.
It's not actually a fire hazard. It's just a nasty hazard.
Fair.
And a fire.
If you can get used engine oil to burn, that's a very bad thing about the car that you took it from. So that means you're getting fuel in there.
Mm.
Now, however, if you were to like soak old oily rags and like really pile them up nice and tight, that can actually start to generate heat.
Yes, it
The
can.
oil won't combust. The oil will not contribute to the combustion, but the regs themselves will combust. They're investigating zones 2, 3, and 4. So does that mean that there's power outage in more than just 2 zones now?
I find it dumb that Texas doesn't tie their power into more sources. I think it's
More,
all about being self-sustainable.
yeah.
Except if you're
More,
not self-sustainable, though.
yeah. When you say more sources, you mean basically having the zones interwoven so that if
Yeah.
one zone just can't go down, you need to have failures across multiple lines for anything to be able to go down.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, we've had 2 or 3 zones go down at once, so maybe that is what happened.
True.
There's definitely a power outage down here. Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. I don't know. It was at night, and I have gas heat, so I didn't actually notice. I got a message the next morning from one of my coworkers.
We take electricity for granted, I think, in Canada.
We do here, but for example, Doom doesn't,
Nope.
because I hope they've got power again by now, but they may not.
I believe they said they did, unless it went down tonight.
It went down last night.
They got their power back. They were playing Dwarf Fortress not too long ago. I think it came back on this morning. They posted something about it at some point.
So I, for one, just expect power to be there.
Yep, generally. I definitely, when power's not there, I go, crap. There are many things I did not think of that would have been nice to do before we lost power.
Like being
I
a
always
water
find it kind of a
supply.
novelty when it goes out, but that's because it so rarely goes out.
Yep.
And it usually doesn't stay out for long.
No.
Well, James, we found more copper. The road goes right by another copper.
Yep. That was why I mentioned, I'm like, the road that towards the merchant will also provide us with pretty much all the copper we'll probably need in the game. Because, so you're saying the road's going right by another copper, right there.
Yeah. And
But we've
there's
also
more
got a
just
copper
down the
here
road.
and
Yeah.
here, which are just barely away from the road a bit. So, barely an inconvenience away from a lot more. A lot of other options. Okay, well, I need to go back to the base, so I will take as much of copper as I can carry with, because I was loading all of it into your cart.
Technically, all of Texas power grid is U.S. power grid. Unless Texas is not part of the U.S.
Well, the U.S. isn't a
I think
country,
that
so
depends. Oh, jeez.
I said we need to find new things to argue about, not the same thing. We're sounding like Americans fighting over the same thing.
Oh, that's my luck.
I find this road's a little difficult to build because there's so many trees in the way.
you got a Galileo thermometer for Christmas. Was that this year? I thought you already had a Galileo thermometer, Michael.
I love those things. They're so cool.
They're certainly pretty. Okay. I'm carrying as much copper back as I can, which is 38. Okay, so now you have 2 Galileo thermometers.
You need one more and a Figaro. Thank you for the pity laugh. I really didn't deserve that.
Galileo, Galileo. It was a little bit. Oh, you built a road around?
Yep, I didn't like your road, so I built my own road.
Except you didn't take the trees down.
Nope, I don't have an axe.
I can solve that in the near future. My axe is broke.
I stopped getting my... I mean, I might not be not getting the rested bonus, but I feel like I'm not getting the rested bonus. It told me I wasn't resting anymore. Which maybe if I sat down, it would be fine, but... I mean, a Galileo thermometer being in Fahrenheit makes sense. It's a ancient piece of technology, so it should be an ancient unit of measurement. Alright, got my rested bonus. So I was watching a thing on so there's a group in I can't remember if it's I can't remember where it is, but it's somewhere in Europe, and they're basically building a castle completely the way it would have been historically. The only difference is being that when they make the scaffolding that people are walking on and that is there for safety, they use nails and screws to hold it together so that no one's going to fall to their death. But other than that, they're building it completely the way it would have been done in period correct ways. Like even their scaffolding, which is held together with screws for safety, still has the rope and thread that would have been used to tie it together historically. Um, but yeah, like one of the things is so that site, one of the site managers, when they originally started it, they measured his foot, they measured his thumb, and that's where you get your measurements from. Like his body is the measurements for that castle. So whenever they pull up an inch, it is the width of his thumb is their inch measurement.
This is like 3 Bob units.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. It's all recorded. Like, so the way it would have been historically is the guy who started that would have basically all of the measurements that he's using. That this is the width of a thumb, this is the length of a foot, would be measured somewhere on the like for the so for any other builder starting working there would go and compare and be like, okay, so this is when someone says 3 thumbs, this is the thumb that they're using for that. And that is still today, I think, if I remember correctly, the French word for inch is based off of the word for thumb.
Well, that's kind of neat.
Because it's still in our measurement system today. Was it a long stream in the morning? I thought it. I'm trying to remember. No, it was yesterday you had to run away early. I feel like one is either muted or gone AFK.
I say that mostly as a joke. You have to say it in German.
What do you have to say in?
Happy birthday. I can say it in Spanish. I definitely can't say it in German.
I'm really struggling right now to remember how to say happy birthday in German. I can't remember how off the top of my head.
I think German, and the only thing I can think is Krankenwagen.
Yeah. Fröhlich Weihnachten would be happy, or Merry Christmas. And I assume that crackling was robotic for... Oh.
That is some angry something. Hey, let's try this. Alexander, get out of the mic.
Okay, well,
that seems to work.
Why? I swear.
So, I changed mics.
Yeah.
I'd happened to be perfect timing. I guess the battery on our mics died. I guess it didn't charge. So apparently when I'm charging the case, it doesn't charge the microphones inside. Interesting. So those batteries died too early.
Interesting.
But yeah, I happened to change microphone when you blamed the ghost.
Again,
funny.
just something I do for fun, and
Seems
somehow it
awfully
seems to work out.
coincidental, but it works.
It's great.
Coincidental just seems to line up. Okay, I don't remember today morning stream being very long.
I mean, yeah, I guess it is my birthday where you are, but it's not yet my birthday here.
Well, you were born in Mexico. Time
Yep.
zone would be there.
I mean,
Yes,
Mexico
what?
has more than one time zone, but...
No, I'm just thinking Potomac area.
Is pretty close to Texas.
Might be 1 hour out from us. It might be between Texas time. So it may be your birthday. I don't know what time of day you were.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think I was born later in the day, but I can't remember honestly at this point.
So core wood, should I be putting that into a cart or making stacks?
That's your call. I personally would put it in the cart, but
That's what I have been
that's
doing. But
also like because we're not really using that much core wood, so stacking it's not a bad idea.
I'll be cutting a lot of core wood.
Yeah.
Oh, for spikes and stuff? Yeah. For defensive, you need a lot of core wood. Well, if you need
Oh,
core
yeah,
wood,
right.
best just come and get it. Bring the other cart up and take this one down. What? It's getting dark again? I just dealt with quite a bit of road built. Who's face ding? Facebook? What is that?
So I couldn't tell you what time I was born, Michael. I don't remember that event very well.
Isn't that what we just said? It's like, okay. Overboard. Bye.
All right. Last upgrade for me. For a while, anyway.
Hey, if you're coming back this way,
Yep.
could use better armor.
I mean, that is... So the next thing I'm going to be starting to work on is armor for other people. Because my armor is now as good as I can
I'm just saying, leather
get
armor
it.
that's in that
Oh,
house is better than the leather armor.
yep, that is also
Actually, you know
fair.
what? The cart's full. Where would I put the leather armor?
I mean, but I can also bring you an empty cart when I come that way.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, make sure you repair it. hybrid. So, health 3. Bit low. But anyway, so we did watch Avatar.
Oh, what do you think?
I didn't hate it. It wasn't as terrible as the critics said it was. Still not a billion-dollar movie or whatever. Looks pretty. I just don't think it justifies as much money as it got put into it.
Yeah, that is fair. Just because it's big does not mean it's necessarily good.
It was an okay movie. I didn't hate it. Wasn't all that special. It was the Avatar all over again.
Yep.
There wasn't a story really. Nothing surprised me. I feel when you take 13 years to make a sequel, you should spend a little more time on the plot, but
Yeah,
But
it
worked
does
out for
get
them the
me
first time.
that those really big blockbuster can't fail movies tend to have really weak plots. Like almost universally. It's very rare for a big movie. And like people will mock something like Inception, going, "Well, that's, a dumb person's idea of a smart movie." And it's like, but at least it had like there was something going on in the plot.
yeah, it's something unique and different.
It wasn't just, okay, you can tell what's going to happen super early.
You get to die first.
was about to be like, hey, Jess, are you done with my axe? And then I realized it's back in my inventory. So I would guess so. I'm just glad I looked at my inventory before asking the question and looking like an idiot.
Yeah, good. Good thing you didn't attract it. Wait, why is my club only level
Why is your club only level what?
level 1?
I mean, why are you using a club at all?
I like a club. I would like it. I like a mace
Okay.
instead. I like the blunt. It's my go-to.
Hey Jess, I'm just about to use X here, so I don't know if you have X here equipped, but if you do not, I'm going to use it when we're close together.
Or Jess could use it beside me.
I mean, done
She
the
doesn't
thing.
have a microphone anymore.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as she can hear, we can at least half communicate.
Or you have a microphone. Could. Boys. Strength, shield, defense. It's right in the shield.
Could do some off-roading.
Are you off-roading?
I just wanted to pick some berries so that I could have a third food group because I had forgotten to pack all
Yeah,
the
I'm
food I wanted.
almost out of. It's been a while.
A live stream is a one-way FaceTime. Except for you don't actually see my face. You just see what I'm doing. It's like I'm working for a living and you're a Snoopy boss watching me. Quit being so
Okay.
Snoopy, damn it. Okay, so it's not like that at all, but still.
Yeah, just like this, but not really.
It's just like this, except for in every way that it would actually possibly be like this. Level up to running level 84.
Wood cutting up level.
I like ran over a rock and it like launched me up a little bit. That was weird.
The more I think about live streaming being like FaceTiming, I'm just like uncomfortable.
Is it just simply because you dislike FaceTime?
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
So like I don't mind people using Skype and stuff like that, and like I personally do like Discord. But the thought of being at like beck and call, and I've had relatives who are like, "Oh yeah, I can just phone whatever," and I'm like, "Please don't."
Okay, hold on. This cart has better armor in it. Has one piece of of bronze armor, and actually, give me 1 second. I'm going to give you my bronze armor, and I'm going to take the bronze armor I put in there.
Why?
Because that armor is as high as I can get it, which means for me to level it up, if you wear it, I would need to be like, hey, I can level up that bronze armor. Can I have it back? I'm going to be able to upgrade this pretty quickly here. So if I just take it, it'll be upgraded soon. And in my opinion, it makes more sense to upgrade a piece fully before moving on, rather than upgrading something piecemeal. Basically, rather than having all level 1 bronze armor, I think it makes more sense to have level 3 on one piece and then start working on the next piece.
Yeah, it's not going to be a set.
Because yeah, there's no set bonuses for anything other than the troll. So why go for sets?
Okay, now I need to know, like, troll versus wolf. How does that work out?
It works out in the wolf's favor.
I would think so.
Okay. Yeah, the whole one-way FaceTime thing, where it gets weird is, so Michael, you feel like you know us. See, live stream kind of get to know each other a bit, right?
Yeah.
My trucking videos, though, I don't get to know the people that, unless they comment a lot, I don't get to know the people that watch.
Yeah, there's people who feel like they know you, but you don't know them.
And then it can get kind of creepy when, whoa, troll, 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 troll. They can kind of get creepy when all of a sudden they think we're best friends. I don't even know who they are. Wreck my cart. To wreck my cart.
Yeah, that's the one thing where I like with at least with the live streaming, you can have communication with people and you do actually get to know them. Whereas with videos, yeah, there's people who are observing your life, but it's not a two-way interaction.
Hey, James, this is 12, right?
Yeah. I see that. That's a bit of a problem. Thank
I feel
you.
like I can see that from the other side too, though. Because there are some people who stream regularly who, like, don't get me wrong, I don't actually end up commenting on their videos a lot or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, like, the persona you present is so great that, like, I would love to know you as a real human.
Yeah, but when you meet that person as a real human, just say hi to them and go, hey, I'm a fan, and then keep doing your thing.
There are some people where they're like, oh, I know you, we're friends, and it's like, that is not our relationship.
Yeah.
It's like, if I'm in the mood to have a conversation with that fan, sure. Like, I've said hi to famous people and just moved along and just treat them like a normal person, right?
Yeah, you don't have to make it weird. Despite
So
what
you
people,
John Barrowman, and
despite what people think sometimes.
Them.
I mean, but that's not making it weird. That's just being weird because
just being on the same level.
Yeah. When they're weird and having fun, you are like, you're just having fun at that point. It's not a problem.
Don't come too far up here. There's another troll.
Wait, is this first troll your fault?
Nope.
No,
I'm
they're
coming down. Not
Jess and Shep are way up there.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if that was Jess. I didn't take a time to
Yeah.
check.
But yeah, no, thanks for helping me out there, Juan, because I was trapped in my copper mine by that troll.
Well, I brought it there.
I mean, that's fair. But if you had just been like, well, this isn't my problem anymore, I would have died in that mine because there was no way out. I was definitely, I'm like, do I just try to like bury farther into this mountain and see if I can just evade the troll altogether? But it didn't seem like a likely outcome.
Micro, not.
Yeah, I could see though how people could definitely form not false attachment because I don't think that's right.
There's actually a
But,
name
like-
for it, but a one-way attachment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I get it. Like you sit there and you listen to these videos and like
Oh yeah, there's people
there's
that I
tone
know
and like
well.
blah blah blah. You know,
Right.
and so then you're like, oh, I feel this real connection, and it does feel very personal, especially if you know you struggle making friends or whatever. So I can kind of see, like, I understand. It's still unintentionally creepy. Will not deny, but I see how I can totally see how that would form.
Well, so it doesn't become creepy until the person makes it creepy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same energy as like I know. Oh, that's a troll. Hello. You're in the meadows, you giant jerk. It's the same energy as like I know Taylor Swift had this happen, and Vic Mignogna, he who we shall not speak of, but like fans literally hunted down their house
Seriously, another troll.
and like showed up on the doorstep, and that's like, ooh, honeys.
Yeah, but, like that's also just like full on stalker. That's this whole
Yeah.
idea taken to sort of its extreme.
So the Vic Mignogna story, which I only know a little bit of, it was a couple of teenage girls, and their dad drove them, and I'm just like, sir.
Yeah, you should have been the responsible adult who kept this from
Yeah.
being a problem.
Hey, James, you want another troll? Oh, guess what?
No.
He's
Oh,
here.
I
geez,
don't-
are you okay, Ghost? Or is this like game rolled your truck?
Maybe ATS.
I hope so.
Hopefully ATS.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, those are very different things. Ow. That hurt.
Well, if you don't have the cart there anymore, I don't.
Nope.
Trolls are so much easier with two people
Oh, they're just ridiculously easy with two people for the
because
comparatively.
if the troll's focusing on the other person, shoot.
Yeah,
When they're focusing on me, stay alive.
yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, he's facing me, just avoid dying. He's facing Juan, hit him in the back. Repeatedly and hard.
Table.
Hmm.
I picked up.
Did I not pick up the nails? Apparently I did
just
not
did.
pick up the nails.
I just did.
I thought I'd picked up the nails.
There's a.
I feel like my most impressive tip over in ATS has been on Juan's stream. Player-to-player contact was involved in making it happen.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff missing. Cart, but you.
Yep, it's in my inventory. Because I walked over the destroyed cart and it was like, hey, you can pick this up. And I'm like, but do I want to? I get the feeling I don't want to.
Fix cart over here. Oh, you're doing the Christmas.
Yeah, like there's the Christmas. ATS does that usually on holidays where they do like, special
Yep.
deliveries, right? Yeah.
Mhm. Christmas. January 15th till New Year, right? Or a little after New Year, because the Christmas special.
Excuse me. Damn it. A tree fell into my mine.
Oh yeah, the whole tree not falling over.
Yeah, the tree's
Magic,
still planted. So I'm like, well, I guess I have to hack this down now.
little magic going. So as far as got distracted, I wasn't finished with the creepiness. So there's somebody listening and watching probably right now that every now and then makes it known that they're watching, privately messaging us. Not
Oh, interesting.
and just bringing up a topic that was brought up a couple of days ago or a week ago, or just to go, hey, I was there. That topic, I know all about it, right?
Yeah,
It's like, okay, that's creepy as hell.
yeah,
You're not banned from the channel. You can talk. But instead, you're going to wait until sometimes hours later and just go, hey, you guys were joking about something. It's like, I'm going to make a comment that alludes to, I know that was a conversation that happened, but not straight out say it. Be super pleasant about it. It's like, creepy as fuck.
yeah. That's always makes things more difficult.
They're probably watching right now,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I'm
I
saying
mean,
it out loud.
probably not actually watching right now, looking at the analytics. But the whole thing is this live stream can be viewed
Oh,
again later.
viewed later on. Yes, that's another thing. Live streams, I never really watch live streams after the fact in the future.
Yep.
Live stream would have to be pretty good to go watch after the fact. But to
Yeah.
go into a live stream later on and then kind of hint at stuff what happened in a live stream that was really a private conversation with those people in that live stream at that time, right?
Well, yeah. It's like it's basically sort of thing of like you are in some form eavesdropping a conversation, not in like an
Yes.
impolite way, but it's still weird to suddenly interject yourself into the conversation after it's done.
After the fact, all of a sudden it's like, okay, you're just and the way it's said, it's like, okay, you're just trying to let it known in a creepy way that, hey, I was there the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Watching over your shoulder. And we only have 2,000 subscribers, not even on this channel, but
Yeah. This channel is definitely not even 2,000. It's like a couple hundred.
no, it's 100 and some.
I thought it was over 200, but no, you're probably right.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
No, I think you're right. I think it's like
I'll be honest, generally when I'm looking at a live stream afterwards, assuming I haven't been involved or haven't like joined to chat, it's literally just to see how many times I'm accused of being in the background of James's videos. I like skim through the comments and I'm like, oh, look, I was accused of being there, and it makes me laugh.
Ghosts out. watching.
Yeah, I hear a Shep. Oh gosh, I hope not. Things have gone wrong.
Yeah. It does definitely amuse me. And that's it is unfortunately not just a it's not a rare assumption, and I don't.
Well, the thing is, the difference between doing that and then being creepy, that's a fine line, right? Of then almost taunting someone, going, "Hey, I was there, watching in the
Yeah.
background, just so you know." Especially when that person's already said, "Hey, what you're doing, I find creepy," and then
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
It's like, "Hey, this person's told you, find this creepy," and then you continue to do it. It's like, well, don't do that. If someone finds that uncomfortable, don't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's always one of those things where it's like that becomes a more malleable situation. But yeah, it's like
Where it's
if
like, "Hey, Chep, I found that little creepy that you were, in the back." Well, then it's like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know I was being creepy. I didn't mean to, right?
okay,
I better
this
stop."
boar needs to die. He keeps running up and attacking the cart, which makes the cart stop dead.
Jeez.
Because most of the time, having that conversation fixes it, right?
Yeah, in
I
most
feel like
cases.
it's the
Well,
same energy of there was a situation when I was working at a different job where this guy would come through and he would ask all the females out. And I want to emphasize that anyone who is female presenting, he would ask out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a situation where we are customer facing, we could not leave. And he thought it was appropriate to come through, and he asked me out 3 times. And like, I feel like a lot of people don't understand that women don't necessarily always say no because that's dangerous. So we like kind of give a no answer without saying no, right?
anything that's not a clear yes is a
That.
no.
Is a no.
And so like that is misunderstood, and I do understand, but also at the same time, like, it's our safety.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, the last time he asked me out, it was something along the lines of, he was like, "Oh, do you want to go on a date?" And I was like, my answer was something along the lines of, well, no, not right now. You can always ask later. But like, there is a no in that sentence. Do you know what I mean? And he got angry, and this is why we don't say no. And he got very angry, and he was like, "I've asked you out 3 times. Like, how many times am I gonna have to ask you out until you say yes?" And I was like, "Well, clearly more than this." And I shut the window and I walked away because I was just done with him. But like, it's the same energy. He knew he was being creepy because people had expressed it, not me so much, but people had been like, "No, this is not appropriate. We have teenagers working here." Like, and he continued the behavior. He actually does occasionally come to my workplace, and I have warned all my coworkers not to tolerate. So he doesn't pull that at my
I
new
think it's
workplace.
inappropriate to ask anyone out at their workplace.
Yes,
So
I 100% agree.
now I will say there can be a way to do it well, and that is a way that they can decline by doing nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, give them the option of basically, if so, either like leaving a phone number, leaving something so that it's completely in their hands, and them saying no is just them going, well, and move on with their lives. And you can still ask verbally, but that's very much just you leave it entirely in their court. Then it's not creepy.
You don't
But,
repeatedly ask over and over and over.
well, first off, yeah, you don't repeat, because if the answer was
And you don't
no,
ask everyone. Do you know what I mean?
also that.
It should not be a, well, I guess you'll do. Because, like, I think he assumed none of us talked to each other, and we all did. We were like, "Oh god, this creep." And he'd come through with his children, and he would ask you out. And again,
Yeah.
I had coworkers who were younger. I think he was about 5 to 10 years older than me, which, like, at a certain point is no longer bad. But like, if he's 5 to 10 years older than me, he is like dad age to some of these teenagers.
Yeah.
Young dad, but still, stop it.
You guys have all heard the story of my coworker at Walmart, right? Getting hit on by one of the delivery guys.
Oh god.
I don't know if
Yeah,
I've told that story before.
like, I'm aware, but I'm not sure when you told the story.
Okay, I'll just do a brief retelling. Um, and Shep, you might know who receiving short
Yeah.
short girl in receiving.
Oh yeah, vaguely familiar. I think I know who you're chatting about.
Very short girl. She was my coworker, and one of the vendors would come in, just hit on her every time. That she's said no. She's made it clear she's not interested, and she's got to the point where every time he comes around, she just goes, "I gotta go. So and so's coming in." I'm like, "Yep, go ahead, bail out." And it wasn't ending, and so I turned gay for
Yes.
and I hit on this dude so hard. It wasn't a couple of weeks. I think it took a week. And the dude made it very clear that he felt very uncomfortable. He goes, "Dude, I'm straight. I'm not into this." And then I just go, "That's how she feels." It's like, you stop hitting on her, I'll stop hitting on you, and we can all be happy. And guess what? She had no problems after that. He
That
finally
is kind of
he
a
finally
solution.
understood. He finally understood what unwanted attention was.
Yep.
That's the thing. Not quite the same, but I definitely had a coworker who became my work husband, and he was gay as anything. So we often joked about like guys who came in and we were like, "Oh man, like, you know," he was in a committed relationship. But we'd be like, "Oh, that guy's cute," and then there was a lot of conversation of like, "Well, but we're in a relationship, like a fake one," and a lot of jokes about more adult things I'm not going to get into in case children watch this later. But yeah, no, this is the thing is like, at some point I think, like obviously I think people have to know they're being creepy. They have to.
I mean, the whole thing though is they don't.
Yeah, that's the worst.
As somebody who has been privy to the other side of that conversation, it's sometimes you have this conversation where you're like, "That's creepy," and they're like, "No, it's not." It's like, no, you don't get it. You're creepy to me. You're creepy to everyone that you're hitting on. You're creepy. This is 100% creepy, and they're like, "No, you're miss." It's like, no, I am not misrepresenting the situation. You are being creepy, and they can't see it.
So Ghost Bear, pre-COVID, you would write your phone number on a free play at your local board game cafe. Yeah,
I actually find that so cute.
that's a good way of saying
That
hi.
is a
And
beautiful way of doing it. Like,
and
hey,
if
if you're
the other
into
person goes, "Hey, yeah, I think
Yeah.
we could try something."
well, and that like passes all the checks, which sounds really dumb, but like that is a public place. It is low pressure.
Yeah.
Like hypothetically, you could actually invite someone to come along with you, even if they didn't sit at the same table. You know what I mean? Like that is a beautifully well way to handle it. I think it's absolutely adorable.
Yep.
Without making it creepy.
And that's the whole thing. You can do it. You can do it and not be creepy. It just takes a little bit of self-awareness that not everyone has.
And I don't think most men realize how you walk down the street makes women feel uncomfortable, right? It's like, I'm a big dude walking briskly towards a woman on a sidewalk. Yep, I can see what that woman might be thinking, so I should make it clear that I'm not a threat.
Yeah, but how do you make yourself not be a threat that doesn't open up to the possibility of them going, "Oh, he's trying to not be threatening." That just makes him scarier.
Well, crossing the sidewalk is a good way.
Yeah, so there are some things you can do, but there's also sometimes where it's like, I can't do it. Like, I know this is gonna make you feel uncomfortable, but there's nothing I can do to change it.
Because I've read body language and I'm like, okay, this person is uncomfortable with me here, right? I'm just going to cross the sidewalk and walk into that store that I have no interest in walking into just to make that person feel comfortable.
Yep. Oh, so multiple cousins have left their jackets?
Well, I guess
Considering
they're
how
cold and
cold
you're
it is
warm.
in Texas right now, I think that sounds like a terrible idea.
You don't walk the street? Oh, I walk. Why don't you walk the street? I always end up leaving my jacket in the big rig.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Early in the morning, it's cold.
Yep.
On a Friday afternoon, you come home, it's nice and warm. Not recently, but when it's that right temperature, that early in the morning when you go to work, it's cold, but in the afternoon when you come back home, it's not cold. It's like, okay, I got 3 jackets in the big rig now. I really need to bring these back home. Because next time I walk to work, it's going to be cold.
Yeah, I have a bad tendency to leave jackets at work in the spring and fall.
That's why I take a backpack. It gets thrown in my backpack. But also, I think you've seen my reluctance to wear anything weather appropriate until I absolutely have to.
I mean, that is true.
My winter jacket got pulled out on Thursday for those of us who are living up here. I think that kind of tells you a lot.
Yeah, that's a little drastic.
The thing is, like, when I'm driving to work, my work drive is so short. And then I'm inside, and I tend to overheat. So I was like, and I don't want stuff to smell like my workplace. It sounds really bad, but there's a while where you get tired of stale coffee.
Yeah, I know that. Jess's mom works at Subway. It's like, I smell Subway on everything.
Yeah, same energy. So I pulled it out on Thursday because we were going up for practice. And I was like, I would like to be warm.
I remember having a 40-minute morning commute.
Yeah, that's glad that's.
It's one of those I didn't think too much of it at the time, but man, would I not want to go back to it now.
Well, my work is only driving. It's different.
Yeah, as soon as you get
I get paid for my driving. Yes.
for driving, someone else paid me for. So that is have a friend who lives in Kelowna but works in Penticton, and their boss pays for one direction of their trip. Basically pays for half of their trip. So I think it's their driving to work work in the morning is paid, and I'm like, that's actually neat. That's makes the commute a lot more tolerable.
That was the thing. One of my jobs, I was working down in Asuyas, which is about an hour away for, again, people who don't live in the area. But I wasn't being paid for the drive there and back, so I would drive down an hour, work an 8-hour shift, drive back, and they were giving me $40 every 2 weeks for gas. And that did not cover 2 weeks of gas back and forth.
No. $3 doesn't go very far when you have that long of a drive.
Yep. And it's not like your vehicle's not fuel efficient. It's just not enough money for that distance, no matter what you're taking.
No. Well, and I was going down 3 days a week. So it was 6 days every week.
Yeah.
And like I know from fueling up, I was not being paid what I was spending on gas. And then they were quite stunned that I refused to do it anymore. And I was like, well,
I'm
you're not
basically,
paying worth, and you're
I'm
not paying me for the trip.
yeah.
Walmart paid mileage pretty deep.
Walmart's mileage is really decent.
Yep.
Having been the person who did that math, it's good.
Yep. It's like you can actually make a profit off, depending on what kind of vehicle you have.
Yeah, so I got $40 for how many days of driving?
6.
So $40 for 6 days of driving. When I was going to school, going to Kelowna, so not even quite, like slightly closer than where you were going, because I just barely need to make it into Kelowna. That was it. I was getting $24 a day.
Yep, not me.
So I'd be
Is
getting
that on your bike?
during the summer I'd take my bike for that. Yeah.
So that's a nice profit for you. Then.
Oh hell yeah! I was putting in a couple bucks and getting I was getting $20 every day.
And that's the thing. If they paid me enough to cover gas and a little bit, because there's maintenance, right?
Well, maintenance as
Oh,
well as
yeah.
it's time.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If they paid me, because like Walmart pays you for your travel too.
Hmm.
They will pay you to like travel from the store, and then go up.
Not only that, they will pay for some of your repairs if you have an accident.
Yeah.
And they also pay for your meals if you go for more than one day. That's the caveat there.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a limit though.
There was a limit, a technical limit.
Yeah, I never applied a limit when I did
No.
because like nobody ever spent that much. Do you know what I mean?
People always spent a reasonable amount of
Yeah.
money at meals. It's like,
I actually got a phone call when I was in the office doing that math, and it was this poor person from another store, because I'd get a lot of calls from other stores, which is funny because it's not like I totally knew what I was doing.
where? Where?
But they were phoning from like Trail, maybe? I don't know. This is when I was at Walmart and I was in accounting. And yeah, they were phoning because their accounting office was refusing to pay an associate who'd ordered skip the dishes because it wasn't an itemized receipt. And
yeah.
I was like, as long as it's a receipt, I don't care.
The problem is it might be alcohol in.
I think the problem was like, because Walmart will cover your tips too.
Yep.
And I don't know, they were like, but you can see everything, you can see how much the tip was, and I'm like, I don't care then. Like, because if you go out to like a steakhouse and you order a glass of wine, I'm not looking to see what you ordered, I'm just looking at price.
Says up, down. Up, down, west, straight. Sure, I know exactly what that means. Thanks.
I'm pretty sure that was a cheat code.
Yeah. I went up.
Like, I could be wrong, but I'm.
That sounded like a cheat code for sure. I realize I'm getting a little low on arrows.
You want me to bring you some up?
Yeah, I'll take a stack of
Just
whatever.
about ready to leave. I mean, you're gonna get a stack of wood arrows because that's what's. I mean, no, that's dumb.
At least make some flint ones.
Well, the only thing I'm like, wood arrows are great when you, like, feathers are harder to get. But we're very much in the age of. I'll give get you a stack of flint arrows.
I'm bringing back a bunch of blueberries, by the way.
Cool.
Yeah.
At some point, I should make a to-do board.
Oh, I would like that. Yeah, I will say that's the thing, Ghost, is like, I'm pretty sure the job I was at then paid for my lunch. But considering the food was relatively cheap, that wasn't actually an advantage in a way.
Yeah, all the driving would go into time and a half. Yeah, that helped pay for stuff too. And when you're at different stores, overtime really wasn't a problem.
Yeah. Well, by the time they needed people, they were so desperate to pay them anyway.
Because especially if you're like in Pincher Creek, the amount of overtime I put in was crazy. Because why not? There's not much else I'm gonna do.
Yeah. My thing is, at that point, you're there to work, so you may as well just work.
Yeah, Fort John. Fort Murray, you know, when you're out in the boonies, it's like, well, I'm here. You guys need help? I will work long hours.
So that was one of the things that really got me, like had me confused is like dealerships, like a dealership shop, when they're busy, why are they not open longer hours? So all you need to do is pick one person that you trust enough to give them keys, and basically you could, because like all the techs are paid flat rate. Your most expensive bill there, basically you need to have one person who's probably going to be hourly, but not necessarily high hourly because they're probably paid by commission because they're a service advisor, and everyone else can just be paid flat rate. And you could, like, you wouldn't have to turn away any work.
Yeah.
No overtime. Flat rate just means you pay them what they work. But the entire, like, the industry just, for the most part, doesn't do that. And I'm like, that just seems really weird that they can get away with not paying you overtime, but they don't want to put in the effort to basically expand their operating hours at all. Not here anyway. It's too small of a town. In Vancouver, dealerships that work abnormal hours is pretty easy to find.
So you'd get up at 7 a.m., drive for an hour, take a lunch at noon, and then back at 1 p.m. Oh, and take a full hour lunch. So basically 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. fully paid the whole time, and a lot of it's drive time. Yes, you get paid for your drive time.
And so that's one thing. For my current job, I get paid technician wages for driving. So my current job, when I'm driving, so if I'm going up to like Vernon, during that time, I'm doing a job that's easier than your job, but get paid significantly more than your job. Where you end up getting paid more than me is you work way more hours than I work.
Yes, yep. I work long hours.
And also, my job then switches from being very easy, relaxed, and much less skill required than your job to suddenly, okay, here's the hard part of the job. Get ready to break your body or your brain. Or in the rare case, drive up to Vernon, swap out a seatbelt buckle, drive back. I've done that. It's just like, why am I getting paid to do this? We have an apprentice. Cost effective wise, the apprentice makes 1,000 more sense, but it was the person making the call went, what if it's something complicated? But what if?
What if it is complicated? Better. Building a house here. Seems to be under it. Yes, I should go. Send. Oh, you're taking out my work. Has not been inside yet. Stupid.
I got halfway through that comic, Michael, and I was like, oh, don't tell me it's ghosts.
But it was not ghosts.
It was not good. So I feel like I have told this story before, but it is one of my favorites. Crafting Spirit and I went off to see Ouija Origins of Evil because I enjoy bad horror movies. Qualification, it has to be bad. And I looked at the trailers and I was like, this is gonna be bad. And there was a lovely scene in there. It was indeed bad, if anyone was wondering. It is bad. But there's this great scene where girl's in bed and she's like trying to get to sleep and her blankets are like slowly pulled off her and she like sleepily pulls them up and then they're pulled off her a bit and then she pulls them up and then they're yanked off and she wakes up and there's nothing there, right? Really good jump scare, enjoyable. So I went home and had like the jitters, you know, like the I watched something scary but like
Yep.
not that bad. And I go to bed and my blanket starts to slide off the end of my bed. Like instant dread. And it was my last dog, Tigger. She had found a bit of it pooled on the floor, so she decided to lie on it. 90 pounds of dog deciding to take some of your blanket means all your blanket goes. That's exactly where I thought Michael's story was gonna go. It's just like, yeah, something pulled my blankets off and it's a monster.
I mean, we don't know that his cousins aren't monsters, so
That is
it's too
fair.
early to make that call.
James, where do you generally keep the gold? Is it in miscellaneous or is it
Nope.
treasure?
Treasure bottom
Okay.
chest. There should be gold already there.
I have a little bit more. Not a lot, but...
Alright, where I'm standing, there's another shelter of Comfort 4.
I saw you. We've got some basically some road-ins, some...
I mean, it depends which cousin. I have gotten mild revenge on the cousin that locked me in the basement, so I'd probably call it and be like, hey, cousin. My other cousins, if they're leaving their stuff here, they live in Alberta. Well, they're SOL. My jacket now.
My buddy left his sunglasses in my pickup, and I'm like, guess what? I've got new sunglasses! He lives in Manitoba. He's not getting them back.
You're not getting these back. Sorry. I'm glad to know that your cousins are real people and not monsters.
I mean, real people and not monsters are
Two
two different
categories. I was trying to
categories.
be generous.
The worst monsters, like Scooby-Doo, if anything Scooby-Doo taught the world was that, in the end, the real monsters are the people. Hello, tree that just came out of the copper reserve.
I even tried to make this look like a bit of a Viking shack. Put effort into this.
Is your effort being mocked?
Not yet. You haven't looked at it yet, so it's mocked yet.
It's always interesting seeing what comments get held for review.
Yeah, you don't worry about those. I'll get.
Well, just mostly I like look over and I'm like, what words trigger this? And I can, but also it was just interesting.
Will the jacket look small, girly?
Which I assume that what he's saying is, well, the jacket looks small and girly.
Yes. But
I mean, If you
Why
want to
did
rock it.
YouTube decide
That's.
that's appropriate?
I mean, small and girly could very likely be comments used in harassing.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And as
Harassing
we've
someone.
found out that YouTube does shadow ban, so annoying.
I still want to know what I did that one stream that just
Yeah, I
got all
don't.
my comments banned.
Yeah, I don't even know because that was the whole thing. I'm like, you were not banned. I don't. I don't really know what happened there.
I'm not sure. I mostly found it funny because after there was a suspicion at one point, I was like, "You're pretty responsive in your streams."
Yep.
And I was like, it's kind of working, kind of not. And I was like, "This is weird." And then definitely checked it on a different device and was like, "Oh, okay then."
You know, Milo Grow complains about that a lot. That's why on my live streams I put the chat live on screen. If your comment didn't come up on my screen on the on the actual game, well then you know your
Oh.
comment didn't get through.
So I guess Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh, yeah, Merry Christmas.
Santa come by yet?
No, you got to give him a bit more time.
I mean, I can see your comments, Michael.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely not on the important people list, so.
What?
I think I still have mod powers anyway.
I don't think you have mod powers. You didn't show up with mod powers last time. But I'm honestly not sure.
Michael, you've definitely not been shadow banned. And that's why I put my comments on. So that people know.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to be as transparent as possible, but you have to apparently install streaming program we use.
OBS?
OBS. You have to install OBS and click the right option to make it even possible.
Yeah.
Jess has tried. So I guess I'd have to reinstall it. Okay. Sit down here and wait for it to get light out.
Yeah, I wish you could basically fast forward the night easily.
Yeah, my private game, I'll be honest, I always go to bed and just eat the night out.
Yeah. And that's because if everyone was at a, actually, I'm the only person not at a camp, and I could get to a camp quickly enough. We'll end up sleeping in the wrong beds and have to remember to unset ourselves.
That's the other problem.
But we could totally do it.
So
Do
I
we
don't
wanna
know if
fast
you
forward the night?
recall the mountain boss that we defeated, but some of us forgot to like assign our bed.
So they basically respawn in the mountains. Yep.
Yep, there was some salt. There was some cold people.
Yeah, because you respawn with nothing, and we didn't have the items to keep you warm out in the mountains.
Nope.
So it was a thing.
I mean, there was a fireplace up there, but that was it.
Yeah, but like you were safe in the camp, but there was no good way to leave. Okay, I am at the other place. There's
can't-
enemies nearby. I can't sleep.
I was about to say I can't sleep because there isn't a fire near it enough to my bed.
Oh, that's obnoxious.
No. I'm gonna actually call it a day anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
Moving my bed to the opposite wall. I'm gonna see if that helps.
Can't what? Oh, you don't have a fireplace.
Yeah, so Shep and Jess are having the same problem.
How many shaman are there? Roots, you know what? I can
All right.
just run to
Well,
cabin
I
and
have successfully
disappear.
gone to bed.
I'll log out, close the cabin, and ignore the shaman.
Sounds like a different day problem.
Yep. I am out.
All right. Well, have a good night. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, guys.
Yes, Merry Christmas. Oh, aside. What? How does it go?
I just moved my bed
What?
out to the hallway.
Put your bed
Modern
out.
Oh
problems
no, the
require modern
forest is
solutions.
moving.
Forest is moving. Everybody go to bed. The forest is moving.
All right. Well, good luck, guys. I am too far away to be helpful for that.
It's only you and Shep at this point.
Oh,
Hashtag good luck.
Hopefully there's still a building there and
I mean, I've seen that before. Someone, if you log out when that attack happens, the attack continues as long as someone's in the server. So you can go back and have all your stuff destroyed, especially if you get attacked by trolls.
I feel like I'm being pested from Santa in this. What? Dude, it's enough slurping. Jess is just slurping away on her drink. It's like the bubbles on the bottom. It's like children. Yeah, I know. I said I was going.
So those spikes are working really, really well.
Jess, your
saying.
spikes are working.
Oh man. I realized I have a solution. It just took me very long to think of the fact that I had this solution.
Warps?
Uh,
Oh, why are the pigs sounding angry?
Never mind. That does not work.
Okay. Anyway. Yeah. I'm gonna hang up. Night.
Yeah, have a good night.
Where are your pigs, Jane? Never mind, I found them. Okay, Forrest is resting. You still have at least a couple boars. I think they were going after wild ones, but I heard screaming and I went, oh no.
Yeah, that's where I'm kind of contemplating moving the boars out more towards the water,
Yeah, I
so
can see
the things don't spawn to attack them.
I mean, especially once we get trolls.
Yeah.
I have so many questions about this whole jacket thing. Be honest. Because the test it thing makes it sound like you're like, ooh, I have to sniff the jacket. That's getting into creepy range.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying this with all the love in my heart.
So at some point you should probably move your bed back into your room,
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
because otherwise
It's gonna
at
get
some
moved.
point it's going to get moved and you're going to spawn back at the starting point. Because that's how that always works.
Yeah, 100%. It's not theft if someone leaves it behind. It's just theft if you keep it.
I mean, no, it's just theft if you prevent them from coming back to take it.
That's fair.
Holding on to it for safekeeping is just the neighborly thing to do. I forgot to give Juan his arrows. They can go in the cart.
Well, hopefully he doesn't attack any trolls.
Oh man, that would be glorious and also awful.
I mean, alternatively, it's below freezing out there. So just go lay it out in the pavement for a little bit, and then you could build like a snow person silhouette. Just have the clothes stand up in the snow.
Yeah.
I should also at some point go to bed.
I'm going to be going to bed shortly because got to get up for Christmas morning soon. And unwrap all my presents because I'm not one of
Because
those
people
nice.
keep buying you presents.
Yeah, I'm not one of those nice, generous people who gets a lot of people presents, but other people get me stuff, so
That's because they
this
feel
works out for
guilty.
me.
They're like, oh man, James only gets one present thing a year.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to end the stream here, and then I'll follow, basically clean everything up and get going soon. But if anyone else tunes in, have a good night, good morning, or good afternoon when others finds you. For Michael and Ghost Bear, if he's still hanging around, have a good night. Merry Christmas.